Silence is a powerful and often underestimated tool in our daily lives. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, the ability to remain silent can be an act of strength, control, and mindfulness. While we are encouraged to speak up, express ourselves, and share our opinions, silence can offer a wealth of benefits that speaking often cannot. One of the primary powers of silence lies in its ability to protect us from impulsive reactions. When faced with an emotionally charged situation, our first instinct might be to respond quickly, often without fully considering the consequences of our words. However, silence provides the space to pause and reflect before reacting. In doing so, it prevents us from saying things we might regret later. It allows us to maintain composure in stressful or confrontational moments, helping us to avoid unnecessary conflicts or misunderstandings. Silence also plays a crucial role in preserving our privacy and personal boundaries. In today's age of oversharing, where social media and digital platforms encourage constant communication, it can be difficult to keep certain thoughts, emotions, or experiences to ourselves. The power of silence lies in its ability to help us protect our inner world, maintaining control over what we choose to disclose and to whom. By staying silent, we can safeguard our thoughts, ideas, and experiences from being exploited, misinterpreted, or misused. It is a form of self-preservation that allows us to retain a sense of autonomy in a world where our personal information is constantly at risk of being exposed. Moreover, silence can be an effective strategy for diffusing tension and resolving conflicts. In many situations, when emotions are running high, words can serve as fuel to an already intense fire. Choosing silence in the midst of a heated argument or disagreement can allow the situation to cool down, offering a chance for both parties to reconsider their positions. Silence can be a calming force, encouraging others to reflect on their behavior and thoughts without the pressure of immediate rebuttal. By choosing not to engage in a verbal battle, we often create the space for a more constructive and peaceful resolution. In addition to conflict resolution, silence grants us the opportunity to listen more effectively. When we speak less, we open ourselves up to understanding others more deeply. Listening is an active process that requires focus and attention. By being silent, we show respect for the person speaking and allow ourselves to absorb their words fully. Silence encourages empathy, as we are more likely to hear the underlying emotions and needs in what others are saying. It deepens our connections and helps us build stronger relationships based on mutual understanding and respect. Finally, silence can also be a form of self-reflection. In our busy lives, it is easy to get caught up in external distractions and lose sight of our inner thoughts and feelings. Silence offers the opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, to process our experiences, and to assess our actions and decisions. It is in these quiet moments of introspection that we gain clarity, insight, and personal growth. The act of sitting in silence, away from the noise of the world, enables us to realign with our values, goals, and intentions. Silence is far more than the absence of sound. It is a powerful tool that offers protection, reflection, and clarity. It enables us to navigate the world with greater thoughtfulness, emotional control, and self-awareness. Embracing silence in moments of tension, decision-making, and interaction can help us to respond more effectively, protect our well-being, and build stronger, more meaningful connections with others. In a world that often celebrates noise and constant communication, silence remains an invaluable resource for those who understand its true power. Miscommunication is a common occurrence in our everyday interactions, often leading to confusion, frustration, and unnecessary conflict. While many factors contribute to miscommunication, one of the simplest and most effective ways to avoid it is by exercising the power of silence. When we remain silent or take a moment before responding, we give ourselves the opportunity to fully understand what is being communicated and ensure that we are not misinterpreting the message. One of the main reasons miscommunication happens is because people often speak without fully listening. In the rush to respond or make our point, we may not pay close attention to what the other person is actually saying. This can lead to misunderstandings, as we might misinterpret their words or intent. Silence helps counter this by allowing us to listen more attentively. Instead of immediately jumping into a conversation or debate, taking a moment of silence enables us to absorb the message fully, ensuring that we are on the same page before offering our response. Silence also provides the space to reflect on what has been said. In conversations, we are quick to react, and our response is shaped by our emotions or assumptions. By remaining silent for a moment, we give ourselves time to process the information, ask clarifying questions if needed, and craft a thoughtful response. This prevents us from speaking out of turn or responding in a way that might be taken the wrong way. It's a way of ensuring that our words are deliberate and clear, rather than impulsive and potentially confusing. Another way silence helps avoid miscommunication is by preventing us from oversharing or offering excessive explanations. In an attempt to make ourselves understood, we might over-explain a point, use too many words, or offer information that isn't necessary. This can lead to the listener feeling overwhelmed or confused by the amount of information being presented. By using silence strategically, we can choose to be more concise and direct, allowing for clear communication. When we speak less, the message becomes more focused, and there is less room for confusion. Silence can also act as a signal in a conversation. When we pause or stay silent, it can signal to the other person that we are processing their message, that we need time to think, or that we are contemplating our next words carefully. This can encourage the other person to reflect on their own words as well, leading to a more productive dialogue. It also shows respect for the conversation and the other person's perspective, which can help avoid misunderstandings and foster a more open, honest exchange. In situations where tensions are high, silence can act as a buffer against the potential escalation of miscommunication. When emotions run high, our words can become sharper, and our interpretations of the other person's words can become distorted. Silence in these moments allows us to regain emotional control, giving us the chance to approach the conversation more calmly. By not immediately reacting, we avoid speaking in anger or frustration, which can often lead to words that are misinterpreted or taken out of context. Silence is an effective way to avoid miscommunication when we are unsure or lack clarity on what is being said. Instead of responding immediately with incomplete or inaccurate information, staying silent allows us to gather our thoughts, seek clarification, and ensure that we are accurately conveying our message. This is especially important in professional or sensitive settings where a miscommunication can have significant consequences. By choosing to stay silent rather than guess or assume, we demonstrate a level of caution that can ultimately lead to more accurate and meaningful communication. Avoiding miscommunication is not just about speaking clearly, it is equally about knowing when to remain silent. Silence allows us to listen, reflect, and process information before responding, ensuring that our communication is thoughtful, accurate, and effective. It helps to prevent misunderstandings, reduce the likelihood of conflict, and foster stronger connections between individuals. In a world where speed and haste often dominate our conversations, taking a moment of silence can be the key to ensuring that our words are truly understood. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it is easy to get caught up in the rush of responsibilities, deadlines, and constant activity. The pace of modern living often discourages us from taking a step back to reflect on our experiences, actions, and decisions. However, making time for reflection is an invaluable practice that can enhance our self-awareness, improve our decision-making, and promote personal growth. Reflection provides a moment of pause, allowing us to evaluate where we are, how far we've come, and where we want to go. When we take time to reflect, we give ourselves the space to process our thoughts and experiences. Life moves quickly, and it can be difficult to fully absorb the lessons that arise from our daily interactions. Without reflection, we might miss valuable insights that could shape our future decisions. By setting aside time for reflection, we create an opportunity to learn from both our successes and our failures. Reflecting on past actions allows us to understand what worked well, what could have been done differently, and how we can improve in the future. This process of self-evaluation is key to continuous personal development and growth. Reflection also serves as a tool for emotional regulation. In the heat of the moment, emotions can cloud our judgment and lead to impulsive reactions that we later regret. Taking a step back to reflect gives us the chance to gain perspective on our feelings, helping us understand why we felt the way we did and how we can respond more thoughtfully in the future. For instance, after a difficult conversation or disagreement, reflecting on the interaction can help us understand the emotional triggers involved, allowing us to address underlying issues more effectively. By reflecting on our emotions, we can make better choices in the future, avoiding unnecessary conflict and fostering healthier relationships. Another key benefit of reflection is the clarity it provides in decision-making. When we are faced with choices, especially difficult ones, it can be challenging to see all sides of the situation. Reflection allows us to pause, analyze the situation from different angles, and consider the long-term implications of our decisions. This careful consideration helps us make more informed and deliberate choices. Whether we are deciding on a career path, a major life change, or simply how to handle a challenging situation. Taking time to reflect helps us weigh our options and ensure that we are making decisions that align with our values and goals. Reflection can enhance our relationships with others. By reflecting on our interactions, we can gain insight into how our words and actions affect those around us. This awareness allows us to be more empathetic and considerate in our future interactions. For example, after a conversation with a friend or loved one, reflecting on how they responded or how we communicated can help us understand their perspective better. It can also highlight areas where we may need to improve in our communication style or where we can offer more support. Reflection encourages us to become better listeners and more thoughtful participants in our relationships, ultimately strengthening the bonds we share with others. In addition to its emotional and relational benefits, reflection also promotes mental clarity. Our minds are often cluttered with a variety of thoughts, worries, and distractions, making it difficult to focus on what truly matters. Taking time for reflection helps clear the mental fog, allowing us to prioritize our thoughts and focus on what is important. This mental clarity can help us manage stress, make better decisions, and approach challenges with a calm and composed mindset. By reflecting on our day, our goals, or our personal values, we can regain a sense of direction and purpose, even in the midst of chaos. Making time for reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth and emotional well-being. It provides us with the opportunity to learn from our experiences, regulate our emotions, make thoughtful decisions, improve our relationships, and gain mental clarity. In a world that often values speed and action over stillness and introspection, carving out moments for reflection allows us to slow down, gain perspective, and move forward with greater intention and purpose. The practice of reflection helps us become more self-aware, more connected to others, and more aligned with our values and goals, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. In today's digital age, maintaining privacy has become more challenging than ever. With the rise of social media, constant connectivity, and the ease with which personal information can be shared and accessed, protecting one's privacy requires deliberate effort and mindfulness. Privacy is not just about safeguarding personal details, but also about maintaining control over who has access to your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It is an essential component of personal well-being, allowing individuals to preserve their sense of autonomy and security in a world that increasingly encroaches upon their private lives. One of the main reasons for maintaining privacy is the protection it offers against unwanted attention or exploitation. Every time we share information about ourselves, whether it's a casual update on social media or a more personal disclosure to a friend, we are giving others access to a part of our lives. While it is natural to share certain aspects of ourselves, it's equally important to establish boundaries about what should remain private. By controlling the flow of personal information, we prevent it from being misused or manipulated by others. In some cases, failing to maintain privacy can lead to identity theft, scams, or even reputational damage, as others may exploit sensitive details for malicious purposes. Maintaining privacy also helps protect our emotional well-being. Sharing too much about our personal lives can expose us to judgment, criticism, or unwanted opinions, which can lead to feelings of vulnerability or insecurity. Having control over the information we share gives us the power to decide when, where, and with whom we disclose certain aspects of our lives. This control fosters a sense of safety as we are able to decide how much of ourselves we expose to the outside world. It also helps us manage how we are perceived by others, ensuring that only the information we deem necessary or beneficial is available to them. Another reason to maintain privacy is to protect personal boundaries. Every individual has different comfort levels when it comes to the information they share, and these boundaries should be respected by others. Without clear boundaries, individuals may find themselves in situations where they are pressured to reveal more than they are comfortable with. By keeping certain aspects of our lives private, we set a clear line between what is public and what remains personal. This not only protects our sense of identity, but also helps build respect in our relationships. When others understand and respect our boundaries, it leads to healthier, more trusting interactions. In a professional context, maintaining privacy is crucial to one's career and reputation. Certain aspects of our personal lives, such as family matters, finances, or health, should remain private to maintain a professional image. If personal information is shared indiscriminately, it can affect how colleagues and superiors view us, potentially leading to bias or discrimination. Sharing personal information at work can blur the lines between professional and personal life, making it harder to maintain a healthy work-life balance. In some cases, leaks of private information can even lead to legal or financial repercussions, especially if it involves confidential work-related matters. Digital privacy is another major concern in the modern world. With personal information being shared online through social media profiles, online purchases, and communication platforms, it is more difficult than ever to keep information truly private. Many online platforms track user data, and this information can be accessed or sold to third parties. By maintaining privacy online, we can protect ourselves from data breaches, targeted advertising, and potential manipulation. Using strong passwords, encrypting sensitive data, and being mindful of what we share online are all essential practices to protect our digital privacy. Additionally, being aware of privacy settings on social media platforms and using them to limit access to personal information can help maintain control over who sees what. Maintaining privacy can lead to a greater sense of freedom and independence. When we allow ourselves the space to keep certain parts of our lives private, we have the freedom to navigate the world without the fear of constant scrutiny. This sense of autonomy allows us to make decisions based on our own values without being influenced by outside opinions or judgments. It also gives us the opportunity to make mistakes, learn, and grow without feeling exposed or vulnerable to the judgment of others. In essence, privacy is not just about protecting our information, it is about protecting our right to live authentically without fear of unwanted intrusion. Maintaining privacy is essential for personal security, emotional well-being, and professional success. It allows individuals to retain control over their lives, protecting them from unwanted exposure and exploitation. By establishing boundaries, safeguarding personal information, and being mindful of what we share, we can maintain a sense of autonomy and live more peacefully in a world that is increasingly interconnected and transparent. In today's digital world, where privacy is often compromised, it is more important than ever to prioritize and protect the aspects of our lives that we value most. De-escalating conflicts is an essential skill in maintaining healthy relationships, whether in personal interactions, professional environments, or within communities. Conflict is an inevitable part of human life, but how we handle it can significantly influence the outcomes and the long-term impact on relationships. De-escalation involves the ability to reduce tension, prevent the situation from worsening, and guide the conversation toward a more constructive and peaceful resolution. The key to effective de-escalation is maintaining control over one's emotions and responses, being empathetic, and adopting a calm and measured approach. One of the primary steps in de-escalating a conflict is to remain calm and composed. When people are angry or upset, emotions can quickly take over, leading to heated exchanges or even aggression. In such moments, it is crucial to pause and breathe before responding. Keeping a level head allows you to think clearly, assess the situation, and choose a response that does not fuel further conflict. When one party remains calm, it often has a calming effect on the other party, reducing the overall intensity of the conflict. By staying composed, you demonstrate control over your emotions and send the message that you are not going to be drawn into an escalation. Another critical strategy in de-escalation is active listening. Conflicts arise because people feel misunderstood or unheard. When tensions are high, it can be easy to focus solely on our own feelings and perspectives, which can make the other person feel invalidated or ignored. Active listening involves not only hearing the words being spoken, but also understanding the emotions behind them. It requires giving the other person your full attention. acknowledging their feelings and responding in a way that shows empathy. This helps to diffuse anger and frustration by showing that you value the other person's point of view, even if you disagree. In addition to active listening, expressing empathy is another vital tool for de-escalating conflicts. Empathy involves recognizing and validating the emotions of others, even if you don't agree with their position. Simple phrases like "I can understand why you feel that way" or "I see where you're coming from" can help to bridge the gap between opposing viewpoints. Empathy creates an environment of respect and understanding, which can significantly reduce the likelihood of escalation. When both parties feel understood, it becomes easier to work toward a resolution that addresses the underlying issues without resorting to blame or hostility. Maintaining respect is also crucial when trying to de-escalate a conflict. Disrespectful language, insults, or personal attacks only serve to intensify the situation. It is important to focus on the issue at hand, rather than attacking the other person's character. Keeping the conversation respectful helps maintain a constructive dialogue, making it more likely that a mutually agreeable solution can be found. Being polite, using neutral language, and avoiding inflammatory comments can prevent the conflict from escalating further. Another important aspect of de-escalation is to avoid making assumptions or jumping to conclusions. Often people enter conflicts with preconceived notions or biases, which can cloud their judgment and lead to further misunderstanding. Instead of assuming the other person's intent, ask open-ended questions to clarify their perspective. This not only helps you understand their point of view more fully, but also shows that you are willing to engage in a thoughtful and non-judgmental conversation. Open-ended questions such as "Can you tell me more about why you feel that way?" can help uncover the root cause of the conflict and lead to a more productive discussion. Taking a break can also be an effective way to de-escalate a conflict, especially when emotions are running high. Giving both parties time to cool off allows for reflection and can prevent rash decisions or statements that may worsen the situation. It is important to communicate that the break is meant to give space for calmness, not as a form of avoidance. Once both parties have had time to collect their thoughts, they can return to the conversation with a clearer mindset and a greater willingness to find common ground. Finding common ground is an essential part of resolving conflicts. While conflicts often involve disagreements, identifying areas where both parties can agree can create a sense of cooperation. Acknowledging shared goals or values can shift the focus away from differences and encourage collaboration toward a resolution. By emphasizing common interests, the conflict can be reframed as a problem to solve together, rather than a battle to win. De-escalating conflicts requires patience, emotional control, and effective communication. By staying calm, listening actively, expressing empathy, maintaining respect, and seeking common ground, individuals can prevent conflicts from escalating and promote healthier, more constructive interactions. De-escalation not only resolves immediate issues, but also strengthens relationships by fostering mutual respect and understanding. Listening is often seen as a passive act, but it is, in fact, one of the most powerful tools for building understanding, trust, and meaningful connections. True wisdom in listening goes beyond simply hearing words. It involves fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their perspective, and responding thoughtfully. By listening with intention and awareness, we can gain insights, make better decisions, and foster deeper relationships. This approach to listening requires patience, empathy, and an openness to learning from others, which ultimately leads to personal growth and enhanced communication. One of the key elements of wise listening is the ability to be fully present in the moment. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, it is easy to multitask or let our minds wander while someone is speaking. True listening requires focused attention. This means putting aside distractions, whether they are digital devices, internal thoughts, or external noise, and dedicating oneself entirely to the speaker. When we listen with our full attention, we show the other person that their words are valued, which encourages a more open and honest exchange. It also allows us to fully comprehend the message being shared, without the interference of our own biases or preconceptions. Active listening is another important aspect of wisdom and listening. It involves not just hearing the words being spoken, but engaging with them. Active listening requires asking clarifying questions, summarizing what has been said, and showing that we are truly processing the information. For example, when someone shares an experience or expresses a concern, instead of immediately offering advice or judgment, wise listening involves reflecting back what the person has said to ensure understanding. This validation shows that we are genuinely interested in their perspective and are taking the time to comprehend their emotions and thoughts. Active listening also helps prevent misunderstandings and provides the speaker with the opportunity to clarify any points that may not have been clear. Empathy plays a crucial role in wise listening. It involves tuning into the emotional content behind the words. Often, what is being said is as much about how the speaker feels as it is about the actual information being conveyed. Wise listening requires us to be attuned to the speaker's emotional state, offering validation and understanding for their feelings. This empathetic approach creates a safe space for individuals to express themselves more openly and honestly. When we listen with empathy, we demonstrate care and compassion, building trust and rapport in our relationships. It also allows us to respond more thoughtfully, with an awareness of how our words and actions may impact the other person. A wise listener also practices patience. In a conversation, especially one involving conflict or disagreement, it can be tempting to jump in with our own opinions or solutions before the other person has finished speaking. However, patience in listening is crucial to truly understanding the other person's point of view. It involves giving the speaker the time and space to express themselves fully, without interruption. This not only ensures that we gather all the necessary information, but also shows respect for the other person's perspective. By practicing patience, we can avoid reacting impulsively and instead respond with greater thoughtfulness and clarity. Listening with wisdom also means being open to learning from others. Sometimes we may not agree with what is being said, or we may find it difficult to understand another person's point of view. Wise listening requires us to suspend judgment and approach the conversation with curiosity rather than defensiveness. This open-mindedness allows us to broaden our understanding and gain new insights, even from those who may have different perspectives or experiences. By listening without the intention to immediately refute or debate, we create the space for growth, both for ourselves and for the speaker. Wise listening involves being aware of nonverbal cues. Much of communication is nonverbal, including body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. These cues can provide valuable context to the words being spoken and help us understand the speaker's true feelings. Being mindful of nonverbal communication allows us to interpret the message more accurately and respond in a way that is aligned with the speaker's emotional state. It also shows that we are engaged and attentive, further strengthening the connection between the speaker and listener. Wisdom in listening goes far beyond the act of hearing words. It involves being fully present, actively engaging with the speaker, and approaching the conversation with empathy, patience, and an openness to learning. Wise listening is an essential skill for building strong, meaningful relationships and fostering mutual understanding. By listening with intention and respect, we not only enhance our communication, but also create an environment where individuals feel heard, valued, and understood. This deeper level of listening can lead to more constructive conversations, greater personal growth, and stronger connections with others.